Why do we have big cats, lion, tiger, etc., but no big dogs? Our wolves are big, yo. Wolves. But in simple terms, dogs and wolves aren't nearly as big cats because evolution doesn't require them to be. They tend to live and hunt in packs. And those packs offer them more protection than growing larger, say, to the size of a grizzly bear could have. Even the biggest wrestlers won't stand a chance against 20 smaller ones attacking at once. Different evolutionary paths. Wolves hunt in packs. We bred them to be domesticated, while the big cats tend to go solo. Just 12,000 years ago there were dire wolves in North America. Twice the size of timber wolves. Climate change did them in. You never seen the size of a timber wolf? We do have big dogs. We just happen to domesticate the biggest one. There are also smaller wild canine species that we didn't domesticate that are closer to house cat size. Bears are the big dogs. Evolution. Size isn't a good thing for endurance for hunting. Since dogs are pursuit hunters, they chase. And cats are big for speed because they ambush their prey. The dire wolf was a competitor with the saber-toothed tiger. They both went extinct about the same time. I'm guessing that big cats are better predators than big dogs. BTW. Why are there no little bears? Have you seen a Tibetan Mastiff, or no? And yet, domestic dogs have an incredible variation in size, shape, while cats pretty much just cat. Kangals all over the world are ignoring that you even said that. Evolutionarily, carnivores split into only two groups, dog-like and cat-like. The dog-like ones have more diversity and don't look exactly like dogs. Caniformia includes such big dogs as wolves, bears, walruses, and sea lions. Yes, walruses used to be like wolves before they evolved for water. Wolves, they're called wolves. Wolves smiling face with tear. They're called wolves and they're fucking huge. We used to. The dire wolf Anoceon dirus was a giant wolf species, weighing around 200 pounds and standing around 2 feet tall at the shoulder. They were contemporaries of and competitors to the saber-toothed tiger's Smilodon. There are lots of partial fossils that indicate that 150,200 pounds dogs used to dominate the world. Most went extinct slowly as climates shifted, food supplies dried up, and competition with other species drove their numbers down. First of all, cats are generally a lot more evolutionarily successful than canines are. Second of all, canines are more prone to hunting in packs, whereas felines live mostly solitary. These lifestyles favor a smaller and larger build, respectively. Most importantly, there's a major linguistic difference here. The word cat can refer either to just the domestic cat, or to any member of the family Felidae. Dog, on the other hand, usually refers specifically to Canis familiaris, the domestic dog. If you choose to call any member of the family Canidae a dog, then you could easily argue that there are some big dog, such as the gray wolf. Wolves mate, feckin' wolves mate. Bears are related to dogs. The breeds of domestic cats vary only slightly, with the largest being the Maine Coon. Male Maine Coons can get to be in the 25 lb range. An average domestic cat weighs between 9–12 pounds. Have you seen the size variation of breeds of domestic dogs? I used to babysit for a family that had an Irish Wolfhound Mastiff mix. He was 210 pounds. On the other end of the spectrum, a Chihuahua is the size of an average domestic cat or smaller. Wolves are dogs. More specifically, dogs are wolves. Wolves, coyotes, foxes, and jackals are all part of the Canidae family as well. Epicyands are the largest known canid to have existed. Looks like they got to about 275 pounds. Roman reigns? What about Seif? Timber wolves. I live in northern Ontario, Canada. Those timber wolves are huge dogs bigger than little ol me. Until about 5 million years ago, North America had the epicyan, a canid that was nearly 8 long and up to 370 pounds. Others know far more about why they may have gone extinct. Just wanted to share a little tidbit about the absolute unit of a dog that used to exist on this continent. Mastiffs are large dogs. Have you seen a wolf? Some stand very tall depending on species. You mean wolves? Or bigger wolves? Dire wolves died out due to climate change. I guess wolves don't exist anymore. Have you ever seen a wolf? They're massive. Have you ever seen how big wolves are compared to dogs? We do have big dogs, they're just not as diverse as cats. Our wolves are big. Wolves actually are pretty big dogs. They're called wolves. Newfies, Bernards don't count, eh? Wolves. Great Dane, Saint Bernard, Canot Corso, aren't those big dogs? Wolves are quite big too. Also, someone told me that bears and dogs are related. Perhaps bears are giant dogs? Dire wolves were a thing. You know, about the size of horses. We just abused them too much and led them to extinction. Read domestication. Bears are pretty close. Wolves? Bacase wolves are no longer dire. Wolves are pretty fucking huge. I always thought bears were kind of like big dogs. Just fatter and more aggressive. Wolves, bro. Other way around. I think. Wolves are already the big dogs. The question is, why are there little cats? Non-scientific answer: because cats are infinitely cooler than dogs. Cats rule, dogs drool. Wolves are fucking huge, bro. Have you seen a timber wolf? Like wolves? They were eaten by the big cats. And yet again, no one is talking about saber-toothed wombats. Because dogs are already dangerous. The world cannot survive with big dogs around. If they had big dogs, half of the human population would be gone already. Bigger than wolves? Have ever seen one in person? Bears? Bear is pretty much a big dog. A bear is a big dog. You can look that up. Hyenas. Go ask the Chinese. Wolves. Wolves, dingoes. A wolf? Our wolves are big, yo. If you ever seen a wolf up close, they are pretty big. Wolves? It's just lions and tiger. There is no etc. to that list, and wolves get to be 175,180 pounds, which is in line bigger than all the other big cats. Wolves. Wolves. We did, but they didn't survive until now. All dogs are descended from wolves. We do. They're called wolves. I think you are underestimating just how big some wolves are. Ever seen a wolf? Megafauna in the US included dire wolves. They were taken out by humans. Freaking wolves are huge. I see paw prints in northern Canada that make me shudder. Wolves are the big dogs. It's a matter of perspective. Domestic cats were bred from a small species of cat, while domestic dogs came from wolves. You look at a house cat and a lion. It's easy to tell which one is the big cat. But a German Shepherd or an Alaskan Malamute is pretty close in size to a gray wolf. I recommend reading The Naked Ape by Desmond Morris. It covers a lot of this stuff.